Halal HaWah. See, when we talk white, I'm talking WIGHT, boss. See, the English forked tongue likes to have it multiple ways. White or white, right? Game of Thrones done told us this already. White Walkers, right? I need you to listen real close. A white is a living creature, especially a human being, that connects right to the paganism. A white, a being of one of the 9 worlds of heathen belief. What? Oh, it's getting good. Especially a nature, spirit, and elf or ancestor of who? We just talking heathen. A ghost is a white, a deity, supernatural entity, a wraith-like creature. See, now you're getting spooky. Now you're getting spooky. Now we're talking monster talk. Ooh, a wraith demon. A white, the demonic character. Come on, man. So when we talk about white people, don't think about a race. Don't think about a skin complexion or color. I'm talking energy, frequency, and vibration. And we have been at war against the whites. These undead creatures, right? Give a semblance of life through sheer violence and hatred. Don't that sound like them whites? I ain't talking about white people. I'm talking about white people. Yeah, boss. My point is this. You can't judge a book by its cover, right? Somebody who's bliggity bliggity black can be your worst enemy. Somebody who's wiggity wiggity white, you know, could be WIGHT or WHITE. They can be pure, right? That's the forked tongue flip, because black is white and white is black. But white can be pure and black can be pale. Oh man, I mean, if you want to get into what I'm talking about and what the Kumse's talking about and what our ancestors are talking about with white people, we're talking about the sheer violence and hatred that these energies that we know looked a lot like us, King Charles and them, right? See, we paint the picture and we got to bring it all together because nobody else can, you know what I mean? Not just nobody else has, but nobody else can, just like they can't translate the Voynich manuscript. But we're getting to Voynich. We will eventually start talking Voynich again. But again, we're just talking energy, frequency, and vibration, and the energy of this violence and hatred of these whites is a creature. It is a demon, right? So when I talk white and when the Kumse that war against these whites, and when we're talking about making deal with the devil, these whites, I'm not talking about a so-called white race. They don't call themselves white until they come here. Before that, they're Swedish, English, you know what I'm saying? French. Now the white was created, man, so that they can all kind of group really this matrix of something that doesn't exist. And these people can now say, hey, now we got a lot of us. See, there's a lot of us. It's like all people of copper color complexion now coming together because we need to act like we have numbers all of a sudden. So let's create white and black. Now let's talk tribal. Let's talk tribal. Halal HaWah. Let's talk tribal. The Kumse is at war against demons, monstrous, unnatural beings, Don't that remind you of the alchemical serpent? Unnatural, just now bursting into consciousness. This Prester 127, boss. You surfing the wave with me? I know it ain't easy. I know it's hard out here. But Manak, if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. Hey, drop, say that one more time for these Nagas in the back of the class. Happy Naga Day. Happy Naga Day. If it don't challenge you, my Naga, it won't change you, my Naga. Well, I gotta challenge you, man. You too stiff-necked. You too hard-headed not to be challenged. You want to have it your way. I get it. You want to focus on the little things and not the big thing, not the big picture. Now we're on demon time. Now we're in hijack city. Not because of white people, but because of white people. White people, boss. You see, Benjamin Franklin, 1751, Observations of Mankind, let you know that most of the world is swarthy. America, wholly so. These swarthy, what would you call these blacks? Because these are blacks. Not all these guys in these pictures, because some of them are us, some of them are them. You know, you tell me. But this was the Russian general in the 1700s, man. A nigga. A happy National Naga Day, man. Let's talk about these Nagas, man. And then we're going to circle in, spiral up, should I say, with some Tecumseh Dragon Canoe conversation. Hold on to your boot bones. A lot of iconoclasm, a lot of repainting images, making them lighter and lighter, like the Queen Charlotte floor we did. You know, this is clearly a Steph Curry looking nigga. Was he for us or against us? My point is, some of these are the whites, you dig? These are the Europeans, you dig? Yeah, these are the Europeans. Yeah, Elector Frederick III, Wise of Saxony, 1507. These are the Europeans. Look at this knocker right here, man. What was he for us or against us? I mean, you gotta follow that eagle, or is that a dragon? Is that a dragon or an eagle, man? I don't know, man. Y'all tell me, man. Oh, was he for us or against us? Little Twan over here, man. This young archer, circa 1640, a young soldier of the Holy Roman Empire. Is he for us or against us? Because if he's with the hijack Romans, he will be a white, you know, fighting with the hijack adversary. What is Satan etymologically? Satan just means adversary. So a demon could also just be an adversary. A white could just be an adversary. But again, we're talking energy, frequency, vibration. Is he a Roman? Or is he a Rema? And now we're just talking Hebrew. Then it went to their Greek and Rome, right? But it started with the Hebrew. Body bag, they just told themselves they can't talk Rema. They can't talk Roman without talking Rema, man. Meaning pomegranate, boss. Joshua and Caleb had to get them pomegranates to prove they was in the promised land. So all this Rama, right? You see Rama here and Rama here. But take it all the way back to America, man. And you got the Ramani, the India flow as well, the India superior flow. Because we're just talking about India superior, boss. Hey, I'm going to toast one up for Tecumseh, man. Big tech, man. Whatever you got, man. You got a glass of water or something, man. Or, whatever, It's smooth to you, man, to give a nice toast, man. A little champagne, whatever you got, man. Hey, pull it up for the Colm saying, man, Dragon Canoe and the Shikamaba. Happy Naga. Hey, happy Naga week. Let's not make it a day since since weed is popping off. Happy Naga week, man. And now, real talk, man, I just want to get us, as we talk about the Hebrew feast days, and of course, not knowing exactly our days and times, but just doing our best to remember. That's all. You don't have to do it exactly when I do it, and I'm not trying to prove that my dates are this and this, and my lunar schedule is that, and my solar this. Nah, man, look, man, we're going to get it all back. But let us begin by remembering and at least agree to remember. Just by uniting in the fact that we agree to remember brings us a long way in returning, you know what I mean? And the clarity and the days and the times, all that will come. Don't get hung up on all that, because then it's just going to cause more division and more, yada, you know what I mean? It's cool to research and do your recon, but don't expect, everyone must listen to my recon. And if we don't, we against you. Now, look, man, we appreciate your recon. Pop off, man. But I think it's dope that we remember our family wars, whether victorious or whether we fall, or, we can see the track record of the last stand, and looking at this battle of 1812, Dragon Canoe, Tecumseh, Chickamauga Flow, we can see the division of the tribes and the pivot point clearer than ever, man. That's not praising me, us, this. No, we talking energy, frequency, and vibration. Through HaWah, we've been able to see clearly. The etymology of a dragon means to see clearly, right? Remember I said that, because I'm talking dragon canoe. Dragon canoe, boss. Dragon canoe. Right? Remember I said dragon, man, to see clearly. So while all this is going on in Nagaville, we're talking India Superior, we're talking China, Cathay. We don't see no North America, bro. My Naga, you in India Superior. They just put North America on the map. What? You in India Superior, man. You in the Superior India where the superior Presters is found, man. Uh-oh. Okay. Slow down. If I'm popping off a little too fast, just say, hey, Dre, drop, slow down. I just want to make sure we got the fire burner. Prester, I'm 27. Happy Naga week, man. So put up your toast, man. Hey, all praise HaWah. Let us remember. And when we talk David Allman and afflicting our souls, we're talking about humbling ourselves, humbling our souls. Not so much you gotta fast from this and this and that. That's not what's written. Humbling. Anah. It's the Hebrew word when they're talking afflicting. You're talking about to humble. We're gonna get it. Anah. So, that's not just regarding food, Managa. That's you being in deep focus, deep meditation, chilling off social media, Managa, is afflicting your soul for some people that are addicted to it. I'm saying, going here, going there, I'm saying? You want to make sure you do your best to get a complete rest whenever you pop off your Day of Atonement, and, just enjoy a nice Zon week. Just do your best, It's hard to go from 0 to 100, you know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me adjust. Okay, and get my law popping. Ahab to the fire star. I guess it is possible to go from 0 to 100, man. We popping off, man. Nah, but at least, get a few hours of Zon. If you can get the whole Zon, that's even better, man. HaWah wants us to get the whole Zon, man. We're gonna get that flow. I think it's Leviticus 23 as well. Let's have fun, man. Let's have fun. Got a fire burning, man. Halal HaWah. Ramah. Ruma. Roma. Yeah. Is one of the uttermost cities of Judah. So Rome, back to this white definition, Rome is connected with the promised land, man, first of all right? Because Rome, Ramon connects to the pomegranate. That was found to confirm that Joshua and Caleb, you know what I mean? Or excuse me, yeah, Joshua and Caleb confirmed that, because of these pomegranates, we knew that we was in the promised land now. They had the pomegranates on the bottom of the garments, little tassels and different things to represent the promised land. The Ramon, they stole the name Ramon and turned it into Roman, just changing the vowels, man. Horace Butler, one letter rule. Pop it off, all right? So we know we're talking Judah, first and foremost. So when you hear Rome, think about Judah. You got to Rome, Georgia. Think about Judah, right? I think there's even a Rome, New York. All right. So when we talking about this young Naga here, who's a young soldier of the Holy Roman Empire, again, we're just talking Judah, and we're just talking pomegranate promised land. Now, is he the hijack version or the original Ramon? So this makes us learn to differentiate between the Ramons and the Ramani, the real Ramon, the pomegranate, the pomegranagas, my Naga, happy Naga Day, pomegranaga, man. And these, hijack that want to steal the promised land, steal the title Ramon, you know what I mean? So we don't know if we're dealing with a white or not, unless we know the energy, frequency, and vibration. Yeah, man, just getting down to some familiar images. Love to Real History WW, man. Oh, look at this guy. They change history. So now they want you to think these are the whites. You know what I'm saying? He's from whatever tribe he's from. He's just started calling himself white when he got to America. But white don't even refer to skin color. It refers to your energy, frequency, and vibration. Right? I mean, am I tripping? Unnatural, monstrous being, supernatural creature, demon. A living being, creature, especially a human being. So are we human beings or are they human beings? You know what I'm saying? Or are we something else? Are we something else? Now we're talking dragons again. Okay. White means something different, man. To Tacombe say. I mean, go, pull up the links, man. I'm just popping off. I'm just popping off. Okay. Slow down. Oh, yeah. This is interesting here because this is supposed to be King George. Now, you're going to hear them talk, oh, America got their recent independence. And so look at 1788, right? King George is still popping off these 1700s when they're just now popping off these Chickamauga Wars. While they popping off the Chickamauga Wars, a nigga is still on the coin, on the penny, indigenous Romani headgear, man. Representing Barbados. Birdman hand rub. 1788. We just piecing things together, man. If you've been privy to this investigation, you ready to pop off, man. So, I know you ain't telling drop to slow down. You like drop. Pop off, man. And if you want to drop the pop off, can you just put in the comment section, pop off drop. Pop off drop. That's what I want to hear. Or maybe hit me with some drop emojis. I mean, I appreciate some AI. And maybe just hit the comments up with a happy Naga Day, man. How about that, man? 1788. King, black ass King George. Oh, Black King George is popping off during the Chickamauga War. And these are the Cherokee that made no deals, no treaties, and they named them after the river of death called the Chickamauga. So they were not themselves calling themselves Chickamauga. They are Hebrew tribes that did no treaties and did no deals with the whites, devil, demon. Wow. Okay. Of course, 1787, all this is around the same time as, lest we forget, lest we forget to bring this point up every time. The Moroccan Treaty, right? So when we talk Ishmaelites migrating, Little Ice Age and Indiana and all these treaties giving away all this land, and Tecumseh is like, yo, these folk is building their, hijack right in the middle of America. And now you see them walking around their cube and migrating. Ishmaelites are migrating. Tecumseh like, can't give them no more land. He wasn't just fighting some quote unquote white people invading America. He's fighting Morocco. Morocco, you got to stand up, take accountability as we go through our affliction period ourselves. I need you to have your own day of atonement, because either you choose to clear this up with the Creator now, or you're going to have your own day of atonement with HaWah. Morocco. So while Morocco's popping off trees of pieces and shit, black ass King George is on the penny at the same time. At the same damn time, the Chickamauga Wars are happening. They're making treaties on their own. I can't even say their own people, because Moab wouldn't consider Israel their same, their own people, right? The Ishmaelites wouldn't consider the sons and daughters of Jacob their own people. So I'm just going off of skin complexion and phenotypes, but we're talking energy, frequency, vibration. We're talking whites. We're talking whites, man. 1788, man. The same damn time. Okay. All right. You got invaded by niggas. You got invaded by niggas. Tecumseh was at war with niggas. Yep. Niggas. Oh, King James, man. Yeah, man. Niggas, man. Yeah. All right. All right. Cromwell. Nigga. You got invaded by niggas, man. I need you to see clearly. They want to paint a different picture today, because by stealing this history, at least they wrote themselves into history. They'd rather write themselves into this side of history than to have no history, because then they just look like they ain't nothing, right? Like they ain't got no history. But You know how they say it's better to have bad credit than no credit, because at least there's a record of you having some type of credit. But no credit, it's just too mysterious, man. So yeah, all right, all right, all right, all right. All right, man. Yeah, man. All right, so you see the picture, everything's looking like you. Let's go. So when I read white, now we have a reference point. Nigga, demons, man. All right, demons. And it's crazy when I say dragon, you would want to say demon too, right? It's kind of crazy, but that's what they say. Etymologies. I mean, we're getting out the spooky stuff, right? Satan in Hebrew, which is what we're focusing on. We're talking adversary. So your adversary could be a white being, creature, monster, but they're not natural. Even if they look like you, some are not natural. And we see what they can do today, clones and yada yada. Imagine what they were doing in Atlantis, man. You don't think they created other niggas that look like you? Yeah, they would be the whites. All right. So this speech, this is a part of the speech from Tecumseh. You're gonna hear the whites flow and try to use your imagination about what Tecumseh was facing. We talked Charles V, Charles Kento, Black as King Charles, the same thing. You know what we're talking about. Yeah. Holy Roman Emperor Charles V. 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Here comes Estebanico Azamore from Morocco. Ishmaelites are invading, and the Holy Roman Emperor looks like you. That's crazy. Managa, that's crazy. Holy Roman Emperor Charles V, 1500 to 1558. Okay. So while Columbus is discovering, so-called discovering India superior, this is who's in charge, man. Who's taking the Inca line? Who's responsible for the massacre of so-called black people right here in America. And now they say, no, history looks different. Charles is white and yada, yada, yada. So that they can whitewash themselves from their atonement. These whites today weren't in charge in the 1500s to come invade America. And they weren't in charge in the 1700s because these same niggas made the treaties. These same niggas was migrating at the same damn time. We're being extinguished to the point that there is an ice age, which is why you see glaciation lines, glaciers in America, Indianapolis, Kentucky and them, Illinois. Tecumseh said they setting up shop right in the center of America, of our land. Who? The Moorish Science Temple has some explaining to do. I'm not just Morocco and Africa. I'm talking about the Morocco they say has always been here, right? We're talking about the Battle of Tippecanoe, where Prophetstown was invaded on purpose, obviously. And they waited till Tecumseh was away, recruiting some more Nagas to fight against these niggas. And they invaded his settlement while he was gone. And his brother, Ten Scott HaWah, led the charge to, fight off these whites. And that's where a lot of them fell. And that's where X marks the spot. And you telling me that's right outside of Mecca, Morocco? Wait, this Morocco that's making the treaties so that they can have relationships with the corporation of the United States and give them some type of credence and credibility at the same damn time, 1786, as the Chickamauga Wars, where Dragon Canoe is fighting, Tecumseh is fighting. So we're gonna actually watch a little YouTube clip of this Tecumseh movie, and you already know what they got him looking like. You know what I mean? Which is use your imagination, focus on the words he said, and apply it to yourself. But now apply this all to yourself and know that they're making treaties right on the head on a Dragon Canoe. Yeah, they're making treaties, Morocco, around their holy mountain of harmonics, causing an ice age with their false gods. At the same damn time, who will be migrating during an ice age? Who says, hey, this is nice? Even if the first couple families were food and thinking America was warm and it was beautiful paradise, we got last time that something called the Little Ice Age, right? And you telling me for over 120 years, the tribes of Ishmael are just walking on it, walking on it. Nobody turned around and went back. It must have been an invasion. This wasn't some recreational migration, because ain't no way somebody gonna keep migrating 120 years into the coldest period of time. I mean, everybody was feeling it. And we talking droughts. And we're gonna talk some more South America talk. Everybody's feeling it. It was the coldest period in the last 1,000 years. When? What are we talking about? Let's go back. Extending from the 16th century to the 19th century. Come on, boss. Tribes of Ishmael, get over here. You got some explaining to do, boss. 16th century, 19th century, boss, was the coldest time period ever recorded right here while they walking around their holy mountain of harmonics, which ain't nothing but the cube built by Abraham and Ishmael. Okay, all right, I'll take your word for it. Okay. There's glaciation lines for a reason because it was frozen over, man. And you're telling me y'all still migrating? Several causes have been proposed. Let's get to the main one here. Decreases in human population. Really? And they compared it with the Genghis Khan massacre, the European Black Death, and epidemics emerging in the Americas upon European contact, boss. Upon European contact, boss. This is the European, man. This is the European, man. Say it with me. Body, body bag. And happy Doctor Day, man. We got to separate, you know, these blacks, you know what I'm saying? These blacks and these white. I mean, they're the same thing. They're the same damn thing. Because black means wicked, atrociously wicked in the dictionary. Wicked, devoid of light. And white means demon. Same damn thing. We got to separate these hijacks. We got to separate this energy, frequency, and vibration. This the Holy Roman Emperor. Okay. Little Ice Age. So much death occurred because of these whites, which are blacks. So much death happened here in India Superior that it froze the world over. Remember Genghis Khan invaded Prester John, that also froze the world over. We're talking 1200s. Every time they invade these Hebrews, us right here, the whole world reacts to it. The whole world feels it. Some experts prefer an alternative time span from 1300. My nugget. Genghis Khan invaded around that time, right? 1202. Then you got all that Genghis Khan invasion massacring Judah. Columbus 1492 continues the invasion and massacre. And then it continues throughout all the Chickamauga War. And all this killing. So many Nagas fought. Even the Barbar, Swan Night Wars. Tecumseh War. So many Nagas kept fighting. They're anti-pirates. They're anti-barbars. All this is you, or else they wouldn't be against it if it wasn't you. The Cherokee Indian Wars continued. The Creeks, Seminole, right? So much death happened, man. Naga. Now we in the Philippines, right? Now we in World War II. All this is all you, and it continues to be you to this day. To this day, war on drugs is a war on niggas in America. Three strikes this, that. War on niggas in America. Crack, cocaine, war on niggas in America, heroin, all this stuff, man. Tenderoni, hey, Tuskegee experiments, my nigga. War on niggas in America. George Floyd, Sandra Bland, Mike Brown. War on niggas in America. War on the Naga. This stuff ain't stopped. It's still Chickamauga War. It's still Tecumseh War. It's still Cherokee War. To this day, they can kill a black in the street because the black is under some title of that you don't even exist. You ain't even a human being. But when the veil is lifted and they're like, no, I'm killing a Hebrew. I'm killing a Chickamauga. That's when it's revealed that that's been the plan, the hijack plan the whole time. And they killed so many that it caused a decrease, such a decrease in the human population that is one of the several causes proposed, uh, hypothesized. That's an educated guess. And then they said, oh, maybe the Earth's orbit changed, axial tilt change. These could be reasons. Nah, man, I think you have it right. European contact. But who's the European? Treaties and migrations go hand in hand. I'll leave it right there. Run that sinkhole right there. Pop off, Tag, what you say? Nor should we here debate whether we have been wronged and injured, but by what measures we should avenge ourselves. He's just talking about that get back. You know what I'm saying? He ain't talking about nothing else. He ain't making no deals. He said, stop talking malarkey. Tecumseh's talking truth. Even their issue with Tupac Shakur, as we start getting to the Tepacatex, Atahualpas, South America, Peru flow. The issue with Pac, man, is that he spoke too much truth with too much, uh, you know, passion. You know what I'm saying? Too much confidence. Say what you want, you know. That Naga was a mixture of a lot of different, you know what I'm saying, influences, man. And what he would have settled in to be, at maximum potential, focused. So even the possibility that a Naga could, you know, come with such vigor for the people, passion for the people, all that hate, all that yelling and screaming, and on the inside, a Naga just want love, and a Naga just want to be unified without looking weak, right? We don't want to be the one to say, hey, man, I need you, brother. But in your heart, that's all you want, and all you need is your family to be together. So no murdering your own kinfolk makes sense when we talk about keeping the code. And all this murder we're talking about, you're going to have to make atonement for, because it's been against your own brothers, your own sisters. These whites wouldn't have a chance without those whites, if you know what I mean. Nah, man, we ain't going to debate whether we have been wronged. Of course we've been wronged. Of course we've been injured. They took all this damn land, killed our people, broke every treaty, but by what measures we should avenge it? How much should we kick some ass around here, man? How much should we get back? How much blood should be shed? We talking Nat Turner? We talking Joshua? Moshe? Like, we talking David? Like, this is the mentality of the Tecumseh. For our merciless oppressors have long since planned out their proceedings, are not able to make, but have and are still making attacks upon those of our race who have as yet come to no resolution, nor are we ignorant by what steps and by what gradual advances the whites break in upon our neighbors. Imagining themselves to be still undiscovered, they show themselves the less audacious because you are insensible. The whites are already near a match for us, all united. These demons are all united on demon time. Now they got us on demon time. And too strong for any one tribe to resist, so that unless we support one another with our collective and united forces, he said none of us can do it alone, man. They too unified for that. Hey, if Tecumseh could do it alone, he would have did it alone and just left them, just let them watch. Just let them watch the ass kicking, man. He would have did it alone all by himself. But he knew, I need my brothers. I need my sisters with this. I need the tribe to tribe up. This hijack is too strong for only one tribe to resist, my nigga. You need the 12 tribes. You need the Prester tribe, 13 tribe. So that unless we support one another with our collective and united forces, unless every tribe unanimously combines to give a check to the ambition and avarice to check these whites, unless we unanimously combine. He wasn't talking about shining on them, but push my time. It was like, oh, you ain't gonna shine on us. I ain't gonna be bowing down to you like everybody else. Nah, man, I'm fighting with the hijack, man. I'm fighting with the U.S. Army, man. And that's straight up hate right there. That's divide and conquer 101, man. Divide and conquer. Tecumseh's talking about uniting and conquering, not dividing, uniting our collective and united forces. Unless every tribe unanimously combines to check this ambition, to give a check to the ambition and avarice of the whites, they will soon conquer us apart and disunited. Ain't that what happened though? They found us disunited and they conquered us apart. One by one, they mowed us down, treaty after treaty after treaty. And we will be driven away from our native country and scattered as autumn leaves. Damn, before the wind. But have we not courage enough remaining to defend our country? Ain't that all we talking about? When have you niggas forgot about defending your country? Did you forget it was your country? This is why we need National Naga Week. It was going to be a Naga Day. I think we need a Naga Week. And we always need to remember about defending our country. How about that? You afflict your soul, you humble yourself, and you remember your ancestors fought and died because we was out of code. Murdering ourselves. A dragon eating its own tail. Because we didn't see clearly. We became our own adversary. Don't look to the white man. You don't need no demon outside your tribe. You've been each other's Satan. We've been each other's adversary. We've been plotting We've been plotting against each other, showing enmity to our brothers, enmity to our sisters, opposing, plotting against, plotting against. Now we're talking treaties. To let us find the truth, man. Whenever we use this etymology line, man, he was the first in our community dropping us etymology website. So I always have to, man, to let us find the truth. Con up, con. We fight amongst each other, become our own adversary, Satan, then complain about white demons. We must not be seeing clearly. Boss. Let me get it big so we see clearly. Before we talk about fabulous animals, man, we just talking about the root of the word dragon connects to seeing clearly, to see. I have seen, we're talking the light. They have done their best to extinguish the light from your minds, Managa. Take out, distort your frequency, right? Kundalini rising, distort your chakras, giving you a false God, false doctrine, false savior. Now we looking at it through their lens. We ain't seeing clearly. Our dragon is conquered because we don't have no vision. But in this darkness, here we are, shining like the light. And that's why we give atonement and appreciation and gratitude that HaWah keeps the fire burning within us. And we cleanse ourselves and we humble ourselves. We humble our soul. Humble. Then you got your dragon back. Now you free and feeding it. Now you seeing clearly. Because you were humble. Humble unto HaWah. Nah. It's interesting how nah, you know, reminds me of Annie. Reminds me of Anna and Hannah. And, you know, there has to be a humility, a humbleness when it comes to the royalty. You know what I'm saying? There's a way you carry crown, man. There's a way you carry the light when you see clearly. To be bowed down or afflicted. You know, this is where they get afflict your soul. Afflict your soul. You must fast. Cool. Hey, fasting is good. Fast period is good. You know, your body rejuvenates. Everything good about fasting. But I want you to think deeper than food when it comes to humbling yourself. Oppressing yourself is also you remembering, you being still, you not being distracted. You know, we're talking about a Shabbat, a day of rest, a time that you rest and truly, you know, meditating on the light in you and the dark in you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, getting that force, you know, may the force be with us, man, right? Like really meditating on the balance that's going on within us, and the off balance that's going on with us, the adversary within us. Sylvanus text, teachings of Sylvanus Nag Hammadi. What did he say? Guard your gates. Your gates are your mind. Clear your mind of these evil, wild thoughts that are evil, wild beasts. Guard your gates from yourself, man, from your own evil, wild beasts, which are your thoughts. Humble yourself. Afflict, bow down, be humble. Ana. Ana. Leviticus 23, it be a Shabbat, complete rest to you, and you shall humble your souls, which we just got. Strong's recording is 6031A, to be bowed down. So the Christianity, or a lot of the Christianites, it's kind of a New Testament info that really connects to this fasting thing as the only way to afflict, and they miss the whole point. It's like you do it in vanity. I'm fasting to afflict my soul, to remember. Yeah, that's part of it. But you're not truly humbling yourself. You need to meditate on what it means to truly be humble and bow down to the source that feeds you, that breathes you, that keeps the water flowing in the fire burner. Ama Abba. You go to work, you do everything every day. You go to church, and that ain't got nothing to do with being humble unto the Creator. That's just you feeling good about you. Vanity. So much of what we do is for vanity. You need to meditate on that vanity within you, the false witness inside of you, the covetous in your heart. Are you honoring your frame and your shaper, father and mother? What have you been adulterous with? What oaths have you kept? Which oaths have you not kept? And it's okay. It's all about growth, man. It's about being honest. So you got to be bowed down. You got to be humble to think about these things that you know you could do better, right? Hopefully you don't have murder on your heart. Hopefully, you ain't been thieving, taking off the dinner table of your niggas, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully you've been most high over everything. But if you ain't, it's the time to reflect and make that immediate change, man. Humble yourselves, humble your soul on the 9th of the month, that evening, from evening to evening until evening, you shall keep your Shabbat. The Day of Atonement, pops off with a Shabbat, ends with Shabbat. You know what I'm saying? And, it's a frequency that you are carrying throughout the strong, not the weak, but the strong. And, with us, we like to, definitely connect it with the, prophets, the words from the prophets. And, definitely go into the Torah, a lot during this strong. Just try to bring out certain lessons for my children and my wife, for myself. That's definitely a part of it, but that's not an obligation. It doesn't say read the Bible every day. That's not what it's about you, being real with you, man, humbling yourself. And no one can judge or determine how you do that, you know what I'm saying? But definitely want to try to keep a beautiful Shabbat in the beginning, a beautiful Shabbat at the end. By the end, hopefully you've You've had that metamorphosis, man. You've had that redemption, that reflection, that restoration. Because it is about your rest and you coming, back into seeing clearly, getting your dragon back. Can't have your dragon if you don't know how to use it. You can't have your sword if you don't know how to use it. Humble yourselves, man. So, Baruch, Baruch, Day of Atonement to all my niggas. And, we are connecting to the period of weeping, from all this death that caused a little ice age, which is really the big ice age. That's what we going through. We're afflicting our souls by remembering the Tecumseh's War, the Cherokee, Chickamauga, Texas, Indian, Muskogee, Shawnee, and say, why, man? Why do we have to murder ourselves? Why do we have to be out of cold? What was the envy about? What was the covetous about? What was the false witnessing about? Who said it was all right to sell our land? Who gave them permission to do these treaties when Tecumseh's letting them know this land ain't ours to sell, it's HaWah's land. We can't sell the Creator's land. We were given it as a birthright. But have we not courage enough remaining to defend our country and maintain our ancient independence? That's all we talking about now. But maybe you forgot about your ancient independence. Maybe you're a homeborn slave. Is that right? Is that right, Israel? Hasharah? Have you become a homeborn slave? Were you born to be a slave? Were you ever anything but a slave? Do you remember anything? Maybe you forgot about your ancient independence, your ancient freedom. When a Naga stops wanting to be free, a Naga stops being a Naga. You put a lion in a cage, it's going to go crazy. By the time that lion is happy in that cage, that lion ain't no lion no more, man. You forgot about courage, but you got courage enough to slide on your op, though, right? You got courage enough to kill your own brothers every day, your own sisters, but you don't have the courage to defend your country. You got the courage to kill each other, but you don't got the courage to defend your country. You want to defend your block, your hood, your territory, but you don't got the courage to try up, forgive each other, love each other, unite with each other as a collective and unifying force. You don't got the courage to do that. You don't got the courage to keep the code. It takes a true courageous Khan to keep the code. To not slay each other is a courageous thing because you might seem like you weak or something, like they got over on you, like someone got a lick that you can't get back. They don't have to understand your courage. They don't have to understand that you have decided to defend your country. And I ain't talking about their military, Managa. That's the hijacked military, the same military that invaded you, Managa. Because you can't show me where the military switched up or the power system, whatever, switched up. Since you was invaded in the 1400s, 1500s, is there a different big kahuna in town, or is it still all controlled by Europe, right? Are you paying your taxes to Europe and them? Oh, Morocco. Yeah. Yeah, who let the dogs out? Now we're talking dog head. Yeah, right on top. Right on top. Who you paying? Dog started barking when I said Morocco, man. Now we got the sinus to file line. We got to talk about them dog headed, man. Yeah, who you paying your taxes to? Yeah, we lack the courage to defend Israel and maintain our ancient HaWah given freedom and independence. Instead, we're being attacked by dog heads. We don't even know it because we don't see they dog heads no more. Sinus of fire. Will we calmly suffer the white intruders, hijacks, and tyrants to enslave us? Shall it be said of our race that we knew not how to extricate ourselves from the three most to be dreaded calamities: folly, inactivity, and cowardness? Damn, Tecum say. He said, y'all inactive, y'all ain't doing nothing. The folly is being out of code, man. And if you ain't moving water, you ain't pure water. You got to be active about this code, active about defending your country. First, you got to defend the code. You got to defend the creator, man. Within yourself, man. Day of Atonement. Get over the cowardness. But what need is three to speak of the past? It speaks for itself and asks, where today is Pequot? Where is Narragansett, the Mohawks, Paconakets, and many other once powerful tribes of our race? They have vanished before the avarice and oppression of these hijacks. As snow before the summer sun in the vain hope of alone defending their ancient possession. They have fallen in the wars with the hijacks. Look abroad over their once beautiful country, and what see you now? Nothing but the ravages of the pale-faced destroyers meet your eyes. So it will be with you Choctaws and Chickasaws. Let's go. This is the Coonsay's last stand. If he can get the Choctaw with him, we winning. If we can get the Chickasaw with him, we winning. He's letting them know it's going to be you too. Now hindsight's 2020, and what do you see? Soon your mighty forest trees, under the shade of whose wide spreading branches you have played in infancy, sported in boyhood, and now rest your weary limbs after the fatigue of the chase, will be cut down to fence in the land which the white intruders dare to call their own. Now they're the Americans, boss. Used to be the copper color races found here. Soon their broad roads will pass over the grace of their fathers, the grave of their fathers, and the place of their rest will be blotted out forever. Ain't that the truth? Because we don't know where our ancestors are truly resting now. The annihilation of our race is at hand, man. The fall of Israel is at hand, is what the Kumsay say. Unless we unite, tribe up, in one common cause against the common foe. Hijack free. Think not, brave Choctaws and Chickasaw, that you can remain passive and indifferent to the common danger and thus escape the common fate. Your people too will soon be as falling leaves and scattering clouds. Before their blighting breath, you too will be driven away from your native land and ancient domains as leaves are driven before the wintry storms. Sleep not longer, O Choctaw and Chickasaw. Wakey, wakey, my Nagas. In false security and delusional hopes. Vanity, my Nagas. Our broad domains are fast escaping from our grasp. Every year, our white intruders become more greedy, exacting, and oppressive and overbearing. They want more. The more wants more. Morocco wants more. Every year, contentions spring up between them and our people. And when blood is shed, we have to make atonement, whether right or wrong. Well, now we have a day of atonement to right our wrong. Humble ourselves at the cost of the lives of our greatest chiefs and the yielding up of large tracts of our land before the pale faces came among us. We enjoyed the happiness of unbounded freedom. Unbounded freedom, do you know what that is? Will your children ever experience that? No, not if you keep sliding on each other. Not if you keep killing each other. Not if you keep worshiping the gods within these churches and mosques, my nigga. HaWah is not in no building. HaWah is the energy, the frequency, and the vibration, the source of creation. Wah, your breath of security that gives you unbounded freedom unless you forgot about it. Unless you forgot about your ancient independence, my man. Because now we have been enslaved by our own calamities, our own folly, our own transgressions that we must make atonement for. Nah, my Nagas sleep no longer in false security, delusive hopes. Our broad domains are fast escaping from our grasp. Our land is gone, man. These treaties on treaties, Fort Wayne Treaty, 30 million acres gone. Every year, these hijacks become more greedy, exacting, oppressive, and overbearing. Every year, contentions spring up between them and our people. When blood is shed, we got to make atonement, whether right or wrong, at the cost of the lives of our greatest chiefs and the yielding up of large tracts of land. To come say, what are you talking about? What's it hidden for, the Kumse? You know, just giving up more land. Treaty of Fort Stanwix was finalized October 22nd, 1784. This is driving Tecumseh nuts. In Rome, New York. Uh-oh. First of several treaties between the Native Americans and the hijacked United States, right? After the American victory. Con. Then came the Treaty of Paris, signed by King George. I wonder if that's the same black ass King George that was on the penny. Treaty of Fort Wayne. Tecumseh is pleading with all Nagas, man, to come together to stop this bullshit. 30 million acres gone because someone thought they can sell it. Lenape, Miami, Delaware tribes, we got to make atonement. Shawnee, we got to make atonement. Cherokee, Choctaw, Chickasaw, Chickamauga, tribes of Judah, Ephraim, and everybody in between, we got to make atonement. 30 million acres. Yielded up large tracts of our land. Before the pale faces came among us, we enjoyed the happiness of unbounded freedom. We're acquainted with neither riches, wants, nor oppression. How is it now? Wants and oppressions are our lot. This is all a Naga wants and is oppressed all day. If this ain't black people, I don't know what is, man. But it's not all you blacks. It's a certain group, certain tribes that don't know who they are today that seem to be the most oppressed. I wonder who that is. For are we not controlled in everything? Damn, Tech. Speaking facts. And dare we move without asking by your leave? Whoa. That's called a passport, right? It's called a passport. Those are facts. Are we not stripped day by day of the little that remains of our ancient liberty? That is a fact. Now we don't have any liberties, right? Let us, by unity of action, destroy them all. He's talking about that Joshua flow. He's talking about that Joshua flow. Yeah. That's why they call him the greatest. Greatest and one of the greatest Nagas of all time, man. And the hijack reveres and respects the Tecumseh because he had heart, man, and because, he was such a amazing leader and orator and such a brave and courageous warrior. They have nothing but respect for Tecumseh, man. Even his ops respect him. Even his greatest ops respect him. Let us by unity of action destroy them all, which we now can do. He's like, yo, this ain't impossible. This ain't impossible. We could do this. Or drive them back where they came from, man. We can do this. War or extermination. Wow. It's now our only choice. Which do you choose? Sound like he's telling you to choose up, my Naga. Sound like Big Tech's telling us all to choose up. War or extermination is that's the same as asking. That's the same as saying. That's the same as saying peaceful slavery or dangerous freedom. Peaceful slavery or dangerous freedom. I mean, slavery is a choice. Because, we could look at us as preserving ourselves by being slaves. And if they didn't preserve themselves, we wouldn't be here today. Or they could have unified and we could be in a whole other situation on top in cold. Either we pop off or we're going to be exterminated. Either you choose dangerous freedom or peaceful slavery. It appears to be a choice. That's what the Kumse is saying. HaWah said you keep the code, you be the head. You don't keep the code, you be the tail. That seems like a choice too. Slavery is a choice, ain't it? And of course, man, Big Push wasn't having that. And Push was the leader of the Choctaw at the time, and he ended up being one of the U.S. Army generals. That's how much he was rocking with the hijack. He said, man, we don't need to do no rash, dangerous resolutions. Man, these white people never heard us. Because he's rocking with the Morocco Treaty. The Kumse, the Kumse. HaWah, HaWah. Charles A. Goodrich in his history says of Tecumseh, he was in several respects the most celebrated Indian warrior which ever raised an arm against the Americans or the hijacks. The most celebrated Indian warrior. I mean, also we got Dragon Canoe we about to dig on, who was his forerunner. And Tecumseh followed in the path of Dragon Canoe, right? Yeah, he had been in almost every engagement with the whites since Harmer's defeat. Although at death he scarcely exceeded 40 years of age, Tecumseh had received the stamp of greatness from the hand of nature, HaWah, the creator. And had his lot been cast in a different state of society, he would have shown one of the most distinguished of men. He was endowed with a powerful mind, with the soul of a hero. There was an uncommon dignity in his countenance and manners. By the former, he could have easily be discovered even after death among the rest of the slain, for he wore no insignia or designation or distinction, when girded with a silk sash and told by General Proctor that he was made a brigadier in the British service for his conduct at Brownstown and Magagwa, he returned the present with respectful contempt, born with no title to command. So whereas Push Mataha took the title as general of the U.S. Army, Tecumseh wouldn't take no title in no British Army or nothing. He was just using whoever wanted to fight against these particular hijacks, you know, as whatever allies he could, and even that wasn't enough. Skipping to the end, it says his form was uncommonly elegant, his stature about 6 feet, his limbs perfectly proportionate. Okay, okay. He was a strong Naga. He was honorably interred by the victors, by whom he was held in much respect as an inveterate but magnanimous enemy. So even his ops had to respect him. They said, man, he's a magnanimous enemy. What they call him, the greatest, most celebrated Indian warrior which ever raised an arm against the hijacks. So we remember Tecumseh War and the continuation. Because after, as Tecumseh was a continuation of Dragon Canoe and the Chickamauga, this is also a continuation of the Tecumseh War. And it lasted all the way through the 1800s. And even the Philippines, we're talking about so-called niggas, blacks in the Philippines. All this was still us, man. So, and it still is today. Vietnam and Iraq and all this has to do with our tribes wherever we are, man, and trying to destroy our history and yada yada, man. Destroy our dragons, destroy our history. We'll get back on that Afghan flow. We're talking about Jeremiah, son of Jeremiah, Saul, grandson of Saul. Yeah, go dig on it. You know, go dig on the previous Prester's grandson of Saul. So when we talk Afghanistan, we're still talking tribe of Benjamin, and again, we're still talking Israel. So Cold War, yeah, I guess it was cold getting out of a little ice age, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Shikamago, Shikamago, Shikamago. We on a warpath, boss. I just belly fly, man, into this great PDF all about Dragon Canoe that you can dig on yourselves. And you see it, man. Dragon Canoe goes on a warpath, becomes the dragon, right? What you say, I said Dragon Canoe. How many times have we called it dragon? And they say dragging. And out of nowhere, man, find this document. And clearly, they say it's dragon, man. I can't make this stuff up. And a dragon means to see. We're just talking light. Pull up these links, but not. All right. We popping off for National Naga Week, man. This is National Naga Week, man. All right. Deal with it, man. Dragon Canoe goes on a warpath. Yeah. Becomes Dragon Canoe. I mean, this is just amazing to me. If you got this far in this drop here, leave a comment. Say we on a warpath. Say we on a warpath, boss. Go ahead and give me one of those, man. You know, say Dragon Canoes on a warpath. March of 1775 at Sycamore Shoals near the present Elizabethtown, the muscular, pockmarked young chief threw down the gauntlet. Richard Henderson was proposing to acquire most of Kentucky up to the Tennessee River and all of the Tennessee drained by the Cumberland River for goods worth 10,000 pounds sterling. Though some of the chief completed the deal yielding 20 million acres. Damn. Dragon Canoe the following year went on a warp. So you see what the Coons are getting from it. He lost his dang mind. He said, y'all just gave up 20 million? Y'all just gave up 20 million acres? That's more than $20 million, man. I ain't talking about a dollar an acre like they try to sell our land for dirt cheap, right? For nothing. They're giving it away. They're giving our stuff away. You just gave up 20 million acres. Dragon Canoe went on a warpath. He was to lead one of 3 divisions attacking upper East Tennessee settlements, but Nancy Ward, beloved woman of the Cherokee, was able to warn the settlers of the impending attack. In a fierce battle at Long Island, Dragon Canoe exhorted the Unakas, or whites, are running. Come on and scalp them. However, Dragon Canoe was badly wounded in the thigh and had to be carried off the field. So they got warned, by a Cherokee woman. She saved a bunch of them whites, right? Troops afterward found in the house of Dragon Canoe, near the ruins of Fort Loudon, 7 scalps hanging up, nicely painted, and just in front of the town, a stake to which Dragon Canoe, a short time before, had bound small boy Samuel Moore and burned him to death while a war dance was held. This is tribal war to the max, and you see what it's about. It's all about the land. Dang. Charles Robinson, March 19th, concludes the Watauga Purchase, in which the Cherokee Indians deed a large block of land to him on the waters of the Holston and Watauga rivers. So Charles Robinson got a large block of land. Oh yeah, we're gonna track all this down. We're gonna track it all. Yeah, you see the receipts. 100 miles long, 100 miles of land. Damn. 100 miles long was the first suitable for wagon travel, connecting East Nile, Tennessee, with the Cumberland Mountain settlements. Wow. Just gave it up. Here's another one. 1775, March 25th, Jacob Brown made 3 land purchases from the Cherokee Indians in the area along the Nalakuki River, southwest of present-day Jonesboro, Tennessee. Large purchases from the Cherokee Indians. You got this Chickamauga War popping off. The frontier settlements were so busy fighting Indian attacks, they gave little attention to the American Revolution. When threats grew serious, they crossed the mountains and met the enemy at Kings Mountain. After defeating the British, the settlers returned to their homes and continued their efforts pushing the frontier ever westward. So these settlers are invaders, whites, demons. North Carolina extended clear to the Mississippi River. Look at all these settlements, man. So, hold up, man. So when we're talking about 1775, 1774, this is what's leading up to the Chickamauga Wars, man. Dragon Canoe was losing his mind. This kept going. And you got this Fort Wayne situation, 1809. 30 million more acres. Oh no. 1809. Hey, oh no, nothing to see here, boss. No major war. We just got 30 million acres of land. Then they get Key West, Florida. That becomes a big, wealthy situation for these hijacks, right? Now Tecumseh had enough of this stuff. And this is when the fighting continued. It just went up, my nigga. It just went up. And it's still up today. It's still up. 1775, 1776. The Battle of Thames, right? This is where Tecumseh supposedly lost his life. Battle of Thames, in which Kentuckians defeated the British, French, and Indians. And that's when we said these same Kentuckians that we got from this Ishmaelite migration situation. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Because they mentioned this connection with this tribe of Ishmael, kind of, joining up with this Kentuckian flow. And then it's all started making sense because these Kentuckians were credited with the slaying of Tecumseh. Hmm. Ben Ishmael, the tribes of Ishmael were a collective of thousands of runaway slaves. Yeah, right. They migrating, boss. They're not slaves. They are migrating. Native Americans and poor whites. Yeah, the slaves of the Moor. Got you. Who created a nomadic colony in the Kentucky Hills 1790. So now they're in Kentucky, man. Now they're in Kentucky. Now the tribe of Ishmael's in Kentucky. Ben Ishmael, 1790, right? Chicamago, Chicamago, Chicamago. Woo. Now they're in Kentucky. They lived far from settled communities for obvious reasons and were forced out of inhabited lands at a regular pace because they was not on their own land. They were migrating in Indiana, Illinois, Kentucky, and that's not their native lands. Of course, it's going up. Manage? What? Oh, they're being forced out of their settlements because they're settling as invaders on the head bone of the Cherokee. This is what we fighting. You see the story? They teamed up with the Kentuckians. They teamed up with the Kentuckians. When Kentucky farmlands became slave farms, they moved to Cincinnati, Ohio. Right? From Cincinnati, they were driven out. I wonder by who? Tecumseh and them, right? To Chickamauga. It's the same time. So this is letting you know that during this time, Dragon Canoe and Chickamauga are fighting against the tribe of Ishmael and the Confederacy, Psalm 83. Oh, they're forced out. They're being forced out during the Swanite, Tecumseh, Chickamauga War. They're being forced out. No, they're making treaties on the headbone while migrating during a damn ice age. I said a damn ice age. They teamed up with the Kentuckians, man. Then they spread out because uh, they became, they moved out of Ohio because they became slave farms. Wow. Slaves in Kentucky, huh? From Cincinnati, they were driven out, tracing a settlement pattern through Indiana, finally to various small towns in Illinois, cities like Muhammad, Mecca, Morocco, Cairo. With permission of the Pharaoh, they migrate with permission of the Pharaoh. Bear the names of some of these settlements. God, let's just stop right there. It's getting good. Before we talk about their 350-mile triangular migration. Triangular migration. Slow down, Drow. Y'all ain't told me to slow down yet. I guess you want me to pop off, man. Happy Khan Day. Happy Naga Day. Happy National Naga Week. Reflect on this as you humble your souls during your day of atonement, my Naya. Remember those we have lost and know why we lost them. Because that why will have you weeping, as prophets, have told us. Jeremiah, right? We're going to return, but we're going to return weeping. We're going to return afflicted. We're going to return humble. We're going to say, how did they migrate on our head bone like this? 350-mile migration? Yeah, they cutting through states. They were migrating around this thing, cutting through Indiana, Illinois. Golly. And they teamed up with the Kentucky. Right, Battle of Thames, in which Kentuckians defeated the British, French, and Indians. Now you get it? Now you get it? In the year 1780, yeah, the Battle of Kings Mountain, I wonder what that is, a pyramid, was won by colonial backwoodsmen in the midst of conditions not unlike those of 1813 when Kentuckians won the Battle of Thames. That means they killed Tecumseh, this confederacy. Treaties, Morocco. I mean, go read this treaty. Just look it up. It'll make you sick to your damn stomach. Treaty with the devil. Treaty with the whites. Dragging canoes on a warpath, boss. And that's how he becomes the dragon. That's how he begins to see clearly. And this is a little oration of Dragon Canoe. We just got some Tecumseh speech. Let's get some of this, and then we're going to get a couple quick clips of some Tecumseh reenactments that we can dissect for the dismount, man. We just are popping off, man. Remembering, afflicting our souls, feeling this, coming to a place of weeping. Jeremiah 31. Verse 7, for thus says HaWah, sing with gladness for Jacob. See, this is tribal. This is our tribal confederacy, not theirs. The tribes of Jacob is our confederacy. And everybody down with us, you know what I mean? Everybody up with us, you know what I mean? Shout at the head of the nations. Announce you, praise you, and say, Oh HaWah, save your people. This is what you say for the Day of Atonement, man. You gotta feel this, man. HaWah said you're gonna come back humble. You're gonna come back weeping. Shout at the head of the nations. Announce, praise ye, and say, HaWah, save your people. The remnant of Israel. Behold, I will bring them from the north country and gather them from the uttermost parts of the earth, man. Where's that, man? And gather them from the uttermost parts of the earth. And with them the blind and the lame, the woman with child, and her that travaileth with child together, a great company shall they return. Don't that sound like Hosea 3? Multiple witnesses to you returning, to you waking up. Multiple witnesses to Israel remnant, remembering who you are. A great company shall they return. Here they shall come with weeping, my love. And it's our time of atonement. It's our time to make supplication, my love. What do we fight for? What do we die for? What are we continuing to die for? Kill each other for? We worship our idols. We ignore HaWah's holy day and our feast days. And we just want to be, we're happy being black. We're happy being a homeborn slave with no land, no inheritance, false heritage. You're happy living in the matrix. You forgot about your ancient freedom, your ancient liberation. Oh, you're going to come weeping with supplications. Will I lead them? Who? HaWah will lead us. I will cause them to walk by rivers of waters. Not JC. No, Jeremiah's not talking about JC. Muhammad? Nope. Jeremiah's not talking about Muhammad either. I will cause them. He's talking about the Creator, most high over everything. Is our Savior. The Creator is our Savior. I will cause them to walk by rivers of waters and a straight way where they shall not stumble, for I am become a father to Hasharah, to Israel. And Ephraim is my firstborn. So we got David being called the firstborn. We got Israel being called firstborn. We got Ephraim being called firstborn. And none of this got to do with JC. That's crazy. It's crazy talk, right? But you forgot because they gave you a new firstborn son, son of God. He's the son of God, but also the son of David. He's being prophesied about as some son of David, but he's the son of God. How can he be an immaculate conception, born of a virgin, son of God, and he's the bloodline of David? I don't get that. I don't see that clearly. He's not the firstborn. Ephraim is my firstborn. Israel is the firstborn. Oh yeah, hear the word of HaWah, you nations. Declare it to the islands far off and say, he that scattered Israel does gather him. I ain't talking about all black people. I'm talking about the tribes of Jacob. And keep them as a shepherd does his flock, for HaWah has ransomed Jacob, and he redeems him from the hand of him that is stronger than him. Then the Kumse say they strong against us. We got to unite. HaWah said we're going to be redeemed from the hand of him that is stronger than us because of their unity and because of our disunity. And they shall come and sing in the height of Zion, and shall flow into the goodness of HaWah, to the corn and to the wine. Hey, man, put your cup up, man. Hey, hey, man. Shalom to the tribe, to the wine and to the oil and to the young of the flock and of the herd, and their soul shall be as a watered garden, and they shall not pine any more at all. I mean, the virgins are dancing, but not. Then shall the virgins rejoice in the dance, and the young men and the old together. I mean, it sounds like it's a party going up. Halal HaWah, for I will turn their mourning into joy. So after you afflict your soul, humble your soul, after you come weeping, after your days of mourning, they will be turned into joy. And HaWah will comfort us and make them rejoice from their sorrow. And I will satiate the soul of the priest with fatness, the cons with fatness, and my people. Yes, the Creator got a people. This is what it's all about. The Creator is tribal, and they're against the Creator, and they're against all the tribes of HaWah. They are unnatural. They are against nature. They're against the Creator. Con. And my people shall be satisfied with my goodness. What else? Where else does HaWah speak about his goodness again? Oh yeah, you know. Hosea 3. Popping off, man. Popping off. Drop popping off. Let's go. Let's go. We reading all this drop nonstop. Got the kitties, got the babies tucked in. It's all good, man. National Naga Week. We going up. He's talking about his goodness, right? And Israel will return after you have sat solitary many days. These are the prophets prophesying about the end of days. So in the end of days, after you are done playing the harlot, going after false gods, and you sit solitary many days without a king, queen, royals, all your stuff, afterwards shall the children of Israel return, just like we just read in Jeremiah, and seek the Creator, your power, and David your king. So that ain't JC. It's not son of David. It's Dawid. Just like Jeremiah 30 verse 9 says, whom I will raise up unto you. Whom I will raise up unto you. So yeah, if you believe JC is going to be raised, you best believe Big David's going to be raised. And shall come trembling. That sounds like you've been humbled Ana, afflicting your souls unto HaWah and his goodness, right? We just got that. Shalak, so we're getting a lot of talk about the goodness, the fat that comes with being in cold, seeing clearly with HaWah. HaWah's goodness is an automatic default, my naga, of you being in cold. And my people shall be satisfied with my goodness, says HaWah. Oh, but you gonna come weeping, man. Lamentation, bitter weeping. Thus says HaWah, refrain your voice from weeping, thy eyes from tears, man. You gotta be feeling this. Have you afflicted your soul? Have you repented? I was ashamed. Were you ashamed? Were you confounded? This is where we come back from. Because we've been like the backsliding daughter. Yet again shall they use this speech in the land of Judah, in the cities thereof, when I shall turn their captivity. HaWah bless you, O inhabitation of righteousness, the mountain of holiness. Really? Okay, so we have our own holy mountain. And these hijacks over here are copying our style, setting up their own holy mountain. But we got our own mountain of holiness, Khan. And Judah and all the cities thereof shall dwell therein together. Yeah, okay. I like Jeremiah 31. Also like Jeremiah 30. Verse 9. But they shall serve HaWah their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. That's after you get out the time of trouble unto Jacob, which he will be saved. Because the Creator says, I will break his yoke from off his neck, your neck. Not JC, not Muhammad. The Creator personally rocks with us. They got to have some other, fall guy. They got to have some third party. We go direct to the Creator, Most High. I said Most High over everything. He says, I will break his yoke from off your neck. I'm going to do it. I'll burst your bands. And strangers shall no more make you their slaves, but they shall serve the Creator their power. And just like Hosea 3, it says, and David their king. There should be no confusion about who the Khan of Khans is, because it's repeated in Ezekiel. Shalak, it's repeated in Hosea, and it's repeated in Jeremiah. And on we go. Psalms 89, on and on we go. So, whom I will raise up unto them. Say it with me, cons. Whom I will raise up unto them. Hey, can y'all write in the comments, whom I will raise up unto them? You know what I'm saying? Write it in the comments, man, for the niggas in the back, man. Halal HaWah, whom I will raise up unto them. Because a shepherd needs a flock, and a flock needs a shepherd. And you don't get no shepherd if you ain't the flock, and you ain't no flock if you ain't in cold. You still slaying your brothers and sisters. You ain't ready for no shepherd. The shepherd ain't your savior. The creator's your savior. But you got to save yourself by listening, by hearkening, by keeping the commandments. And Exodus 20 got us in cold. Yeah, we had to return weeping, man. We had to feel this, man. They shall come weeping. We had to feel it. We had to be humble. Humble your soul. This refers to the weeping that you're going to feel as the firstborn. Your supplications. This is you being restored, being redeemed within yourself so that you can walk by the waters in a straight way. This is all we fighting for, man. This is what Tecumseh is leading the charge. Dragon Canoe. I said Dragon Canoe is leading the charge so that you don't have to be the tail, that you can be the head, because they saw clearly that they were tribing up in Kentucky. And the Kentuckians are the ones that slayed Tecumseh in the Battle of Thanks. Yeah, I'm just looking at the preface of this book here, but you got all the links, man. Let's go. Dragon Canoe goes on a warpath, becomes dragon. And remember what they said about the death of Dragon Canoe. As we get these quick videos and just enjoy the flow, just keep surfing the wave and continue our investigation, really picking up into the mysterious death of Dragon Canoe. Because remember, the Cherokee were the native tribes that separated from the rest of the hijacks that wanted to make treaties, that wanted to make peace with the hijacks. Yeah, so they called them the Shikamaw, led by Ski Augusta or Dragon Canoe. And he was sometimes joined by the upper Muskogee, maybe not the lower Muskogee. Sometimes by the Chickasaw. That's why Tecumseh's trying to tribe him up. Shawnee, sometimes. But here's the mysterious part, man. Let's just back it up a little bit since we're talking Kentucky. It says, from his base at Running Watertown, Dragon Canoe led attacks on white settlements all over the American Southeast, especially against American colonists on the Holston, Watauga, and Nolakuki rivers in eastern Tennessee. After 1780, he also attacked settlements in the Cumberland River area. So you gotta ask, what settlements is he attacking? He's attacking the settlers, all these invaders migrating that are fighting under these Moorish treaties, man, against the so-called Chickamauga Cherokee that made no treaties with the devil. And it says he raided into Kentucky and Virginia as well, right? So we just talked about the Kentuckians and how, they were responsible at the Battle of Thames, which I think took place in Ontario, Canada. His three brothers, Little Owl, the Badger, and Turtle at home, often fought with his forces. Dragon Canoe died February 29th, 1792. So that's why we said, hey, we're going to have another National Naga Week at the end of February, man. Now they got it a leap year. Now they put it on a leap year, so you can't even do it every year. February 28th. So now we know, man. March 1st, February 28th, man. We're rocking another National Naga Week to remember Dragon Canoe. So like at Running Water Town, so they say he died from exhaustion, possibly a heart attack, after dancing all night. Come on, man. As much as they wanted him gone, you think he just passed away because he was exhausted? All the hijack butt he was kicking, all the work he was putting in, you think he just died of exhaustion after dancing all night? So, man, popping off. I'm gonna fall back and watch this video. I'm gonna drink some tea. But he apparently died from exhaustion after celebrating the recent conclusion of an alliance, or, his own, confederacy he was trying to form against the hijack with the Muskogee and the Choctaw. And we know the Choctaw, at least with Push Mataha, ended up siding with Andrew Jackson and him and fighting against the Tecumseh and him. So he made a treaty with the same people that would end up backdooring him anyway. So the question is, are they responsible for the death of Dragon Canoe? I don't know who, but did anyone have anything to gain from his death? Did any of these guys have anything to gain? And, would it be pleasing to these treaty holders, for them to turn against? I mean, who would it benefit? Clearly, the treaty holders would benefit from the death of Dragon. And now we know it's Dragon, not Dragon, right? And now we know it's Dragon. So he made his own, he tribed up with the Muskogee and Choctaw, and somehow he died for it. He died celebrating the victory by one of their war bands against the Cumberland settlements. So they just finished, wiping out some of these hijacks, and then he mysteriously dies of exhaustion, boss. Come on. So I don't see a lot of information about the death of Dragon Canoe, but we gotta look way deeper, man, and really dig on it, man. So, Myths of the Cherokee, author James Mooney considers him a role model for the younger Tecumseh, because like I said, Tecumseh was already locked in with Dragon Canoe, who was a member of a band of Shawnee living with the Chickamauga and taking part in their wars. So he was raised up from a pup in the early confederacy we had with each other, with the Shawnee and the so-called Chickamauga Cherokee and the Choctaw, because clearly Dragon Canoe thought that they were tried up with the Choctaw and the Muskogee. Somebody backdoored Dragon, and we got to find out who it was. We got to keep on the heels of this mystery and find out, who's responsible for the atonement of the death of Dragon Canoe at a party. They couldn't even see him on the battlefield. They had to sneak up on him at a party and backdoor him. Then Tecumseh starts popping off. Crazy. Dragon, man. Dragon Canoe began with a very flourishing state in which his nation once was, and spoke of the encroachments of the white people from time to time upon the retiring and expiring nations of Indians who left their homes and seats of their ancestors to gratify the insatiable desire of the white people for more land, whose nations had melted away in the presence like balls of snow before the sun, and had scarcely left their names behind, except as imperfectly recorded by their enemies and destroyers. It was once hoped that they would not be willing to travel beyond the mountains so far from the ocean, on which their commerce was carried on and their connections maintained with the nations of Europe. Black ass King Charles, right? Black ass King George. But now that fallacious hope had vanished, they had passed the mountains and settled upon Cherokee lands and wished to have their usurpations sanctioned by the confirmation of treaty. When that should be obtained, the same encroaching spirit would lead them upon other lands of the Cherokees, and finally the country which the Cherokees and their forefathers had so long occupied would be called for, and a small remnant which may then exist of this nation, once so great and formidable, will be compelled to seek a retreat in some far distant wilderness, there to dwell but a short space of time before they would again behold the advancing banners of the same greedy host, who, not being able to point out any further the extinction of the whole race, he ended with a strong exhortation to run all risk and to incur all consequences, rather than submit to any further diminishing of their territory. Dragon Canoe, while pointing west, issued a final warning before departing the council grounds. He declared, quote, "There's a dark cloud hanging over that country. It is a dark and bloody ground. You will pay a heavy price if you take it from us." And then came the Ice Age, my night. Dragon Canoe warned his people that such a sale, you giving up all this land, would only lead to more concessions, and that the whole country which the Cherokee occupy would be demanded. They're going to want the whole land of Prester John, man. But the old chiefs would not listen to him. Some of the chiefs completed the deal, yielding 20 million acres, man. Now, Dragon, Dragon Canoe's on a warpath, man. It's up. It's all the way up. It's all the way up. We're going to get a lot more of this doc. I just been, belly flopping, but, they get more into the genealogies of Dragon Canoe. Grandson of Moitoy, principal chief of Cherokee, and the son of Alakulakula, the family of Moitoy and Miskawa, Wakiha, Algonquin, Nipissing, Indian. Yeah, man. Sister of Old Hop. All right, all right. Many fled to the Cherokees for asylum. Huh? They fled to Umanaga for asylum, man. They also called Dragon Canoe Sugansini. And it just breaks down, some details, man. Digging on what they found or what they thought each one had. I don't know, man, but some interesting little drop, man. Submitted by Noni Webb. Love to Noni Webb. Gahan, Gahan. Sounds like John, man. Sounds like John, man. Dragon Canoe, a Cherokee warrior who lived here and who led the dreaded Chickamauga in the fight to save their Cherokee heritage. That's all this was about. Saving the land, saving your heritage so that you don't have to relearn who you are ever again. Our beautiful area and county of Marion was carved out of the homelands of his people. Our story begins with this great Cherokee warrior who fought for his people's rightful heritage. His Cherokee name was Sui Gan Sini. And remember, the G's and C's are interchangeable, so the Gan is also Khan. The Gan is also Khan. Because in Hebrew, we don't need both the C and the K. We have the K, the K, the Ku, Kaf. So the C they added later in the Latin. You see how it says C and G? Because they can exchange or interchange. So they'll put G on something like Gan, which is interchangeable with Khan, with the C. Gam, Gimel, became what? Kimmel, like Jimmy Kimmel. The Gimel is the Kimmel, the Gam, the moving. And again, this is your blueprint. The strong power goes into your family, your house. You start to gather. The Kumse's trying to tribe them up, gather, move through a entrance, a doorway, a portal, a vortex, a door. You get your breath, revelation, and your security. So anybody got a problem with HaWah, which is Wah, got a problem with breath and security, the fifth and the sixth letter of the Hebrew, before you got your Zion, your Zon, your food, your cutoff day, seventh day, seventh letter, Zon. Now you can eat. Now you got your nourishment. Now you got your security and your breath, which is your existence. So every time they're writing Lord, Lord in the Bible, it keeps going back to Strong's Concordance H1961. H1961 goes back to existence, Heya or Hawa. Because we ain't talking about no Yahs until we're talking Yad. And worship is not the name of Hawa. His name ain't worship me. It's breath, existence, security, revelation. You want added breath? You want secure revelation? You want foundation? A tent peg is the foundation of the tent. What's breath without security, Managan? What's security without breath? And without your existence, you ain't got no nourishment. Seventh day, seventh letter. So the Hebrew is your story. And the G's and the C's are interchangeable. So this Gan is also Khan. And you talk about a priest king who later became Dragon. Yeah, we got it again. Man, you don't understand. For years we've been saying Dragon, but it's the first text I've seen or substantiating recon backing up that his name is Dragon. And even Tecumseh's name means a shooting star or a comet or a dragon. And when you relate that to the comet of 1811, the comet of 1812 is also called Tecumseh's comet. Yeah, we got dragons popping off. The savage Napoleon, it's also called Napoleon's comet because Napoleon is being chased out of Russia at the same time by the same dragon. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're gonna talk more seven clans. We're gonna talk about the Cherokee clans. Let's jump into some of this documentary. and just surf the wave. And you know what Hollywood makes everybody look like, so don't worry about no appearances. Just try to feel this, man. Feel this with the same humble heart. You know, now that you know we're talking about you and the last resistance of the Hebrew priest kings right here in America, how they snuck up on Prophetstown, the Battle of the Tippecanoe, killing a bunch of Nagas with the Coops was away. This is our last Hebrew con. And let's see what we got, man. Hey, man. Happy Naga Week, man. Yeah, I love to CPL, Gadway, USMC, all right? And, just in case, man. Fair use. Fair use at your caboose, bro. We're going to do some recon. We're going to do some criticizing. What else, man? What else can we do on the fair use 107, man? Come on, man. All right, cool. Yeah. Okay, we can do some criticizing, some comments, some reporting, all right, some teaching, scholarship. We're going to do some of that stuff, all right? So it's all good. Let's get some of this for the dismount, Managa, and you see that this investigation continues. And we're talking about our Presters right here at home. It's 127. A Lego.
I am Tecumseh.
So, this is the man, Etche Homo. Tell him they'll have to lay down their arms.
The governor welcomes you, Tecumseh. He asks, in the name of peace, that you and your warriors put aside your arms for this council. We will put our weapons aside only when your soldiers do.
Chief Tecumseh, you come as a reasonable man who wishes to make peace. You and your warriors may keep your weapons. It is the wish of our great father in Washington that you sit with me and my men.
My father? The Great Spirit is my father. And the earth is my mother. Upon her bosom I will recline.
Very well. The American government is concerned that the situation between our peoples has become explosive. We must ask our Shawnee friend why he goes from tribe to tribe, stirring up anger against us.
I will speak plainly. We have learned your ways, and we know that your treaties are for us to keep and you to break. Before you came, the land was free for all to use to make a home. It belonged not to one man, but to all of us. But then you attacked us, separately, and then you forced weak leaders to sell you the land you wanted, when it was not theirs to sell.
Since you bring up the past, I must tell you that all the chiefs who signed our treaties gave us their solemn word the land was theirs.
What is the word of such men? No man owns the earth. Sell the land? What madness! Why not sell the rivers, or the sky, or the great sea? Land is not a thing to own, any more than air or water. It is the life and the spirit of all creatures who live on it. I am Shawadase, people of the south wind. And as Manitou allows me to make the destiny of my people, I say, tear up your treaties. go back to your own country.
Perhaps Tecumseh is joking. He knows very well that treaties lawfully made can never be rescinded. What we ask now is simple: that you cease your efforts to organize the tribes against us, and that you join us in making one last agreement, giving us title to the land.
One last agreement?
Wow.
Every treaty you have ever made with the Red Man since coming upon this land, you promised was to be the last. And each time you invaded us again, you ask us to have confidence in your promises. When Jesus Christ came upon the earth, you killed him, the son of your own God. And only after he was dead did you worship him and start killing those who would not.
The son of your own God, not ours, because we ain't rocking with that frequency. Yeah. Even in the Popol Vuh, they knew. Oh, the God of the Old Testament is different than the God of the New Testament. Tecumseh is Old Testament. Tecumseh is Tanakh. Tanakh only, Torah only sessions, man. This hijack over here bringing his gods. He's asking for more land. He wants him to cower and bow. This ain't too far off, my life. In so many words, then exactly what the hijack, the arrogance of the hijack, the greediness of the hijack. They couldn't satisfy their insatiable hunger, right? To kill, to steal, to do everything out of code, and then set up their laws as if they're high and mighty code keepers, legalese. Admiralty Sea Law on the land of Hawaii. It's not forever. We are not homeborn slaves. We have our own code. We have our own law. We have our own confederacy.
Who could trust the word of such people?
Tecumseh is wrong, most of all about our treaties. We have dealt fairly and justly with the Indian people, and the fact is, this was always Miami land until the Shawnee invaded them and stole it.
This man is a liar!
So the fact that he brought up it's Miami land lets you know that the Miami were already in cahoots. Because that's the excuse they were using. Oh, it's Miami land. We can make the deals. They couldn't sell it. It's Miami land. And the Miami's acting like the Shawnee was stolen from them. So you see, it was already tribal war over their inheritance, their lots. And this is how the hijack divided and conquered.
I see no way to continue. This council is adjourned. Let us all retire peaceably. I appreciate your willingness to meet again.
This is how men who have differences should talk. Privately. Quietly. Too much show can make a man proud. Dull his judgment.
And this is how Hollywood wants to paint this picture. These are some, so-called whites, and these are the natives that, shared a lot of the same features, is all we can say. You know what I'm saying? You don't see no Nagas nowhere. You don't see no Nagas on that side of the war. You don't see no Nagas on this side. They done wrote you Nagas out of history completely. You now all come from Africa. You just got on boats and joined the war later. You came over as slaves. You weren't the people in power. Look how Hollywood depicts us. No Nagas, no op Nagas, no Naga ops. All these are just so-called pale-faced white men, and all the Indians or the palest versions of Indians literally being played by white people. And they write Nagas out of the history books. So you can't even imagine yourselves in this on this land having these battles. You can't imagine. The weeping doesn't hit you, my Naga, until you've done the recon within yourself, until you've coded up within yourself, and you start seeing clearly without Hollywood, without their images. You pull back the layers, you pull back the veil, and you're like, well, copper color races found here means copper color races found here. We know what that burnt grandma penny looked like. Why don't we see that represented in Hollywood? Why they gotta make all you niggas from Africa? Psychological warfare is just the same as technological warfare. It's just the same as, straight up guns blazing warfare, man. The missionaries came on a mission for spiritual warfare. They got war on us on every level, man. The only way to unravel ourselves is to unify in the code of the Creator, not killing each other, not stealing from each other, and most high over everything. Let's go. Happy Naga Day, man. We popping on. Hey, put your glasses up, man. For big tech. For the Shikamago.
It's good to use this in a peaceful way. Yesterday, it came near to splitting my skull.
I regret that. Man must learn to control his temper, or like a wild horse, he will run with him.
Tecumseh, you could become the greatest man in the history of your race. We're building a new world here, and you should be part of it. You should join us. Let us be partners, and you lead your people into the American way of life.
I've seen the way of life you Americans gave in the town of Black Hoof. It is the way of death, and I would rather die.
And we have nothing more to discuss. There will be war.
Brothers and sisters, the great Santi nation, hear me! I am Tecumseh, born Shawandase, born under that shooting star your fathers will remember.
Dragon.
Now war chief of all tribes north of the Shawana-Wisipe. I come to warn you in this time of greatest danger. At this moment, the Americans are plowing up the graves of my ancestors. Tomorrow, they will do the same to yours. We must unite. Where today are the Mohegan, the Pequot, the Narragansett, the Tuscarora? Dead from wars with white men, dead from disease, drunkenness, and starvation. Look at the country that they loved, once so beautiful, and what do you see? Stumps! All the red nations want peace, but where the white men are, there can be no peace, except on the bosom of Mother Earth.
I'm not suggesting we strike Prophet Town now. I mean, there could be repercussions. If Tecumseh has time to unite the tribes and attack us, there'll be real repercussions. I'll advise the Secretary of War of the reasons.
So this is why they attacked Provincetown when Tecumseh was near Ontario, tribing up with some Nagas and what they call Thames, or love to dizzle 50. I think he said Thomas. Hey, Battle of St. Thomas, man, that's crazy, right? So he was recruiting these hijacks say, yo, if the Tecumseh recruits, it's going to be a problem. So we got to go to war now. This is how the coward goes to war. They attack you at your weakest, and they call it chess and strategy, art of war, hijack, 48 hijack laws of power is how they rock, right? Very evil, very wicked, very cunning, very snakish. They had no honor. They had no bravery. They had no courage. They had to get us sick, poison us, and then go to war. No honor, no courage. This is how the hijack fights to this day.
Reasons for my action. Post the letter as we march. Once I've destroyed Prophet Town, they'll forget my transgression.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, boy.
My people! My people! My people! Wishimanatu has just shown me what we must do.
Open Door's attempt to surprise and assassinate Harrison was disastrous. It gave Harrison the excuse to attack, destroy, and slaughter our people.
Oh, they was coming anyway.
Harrison did this. I should have killed him when I had the chance. They've stolen everything from us. Our homes, our religion, our children. All they have left us with is hate. From now on, it will be a war of vengeance.
Dragon.
I'll fight the long knives to my death. I swear it. I'm the master of life.
You're on a warpath.
Brother. Get up! What have they told you? The truth. The Warchies. They forced me to do it. That's a lie! They made me do it! Wishimanatu told me to kill Harrison! I just followed his order. The long knives were waiting. Harrison knew. You betrayed me! You betrayed yourself! You betrayed the people!
The burning of Prophet Town destroyed Tecumseh's hope of unifying the tribes. Still, he fought with the British against the Americans in the War of 1812. But finally, the British retreated into Canada, leaving Tecumseh alone to face Harrison.
As you were, gentlemen.
Will you join us, Governor?
I believe I will, Mr. Barron.
Death to the slippery red bugger. Which red bugger do you mean, Colonel Johnson? Red coat or red skin? I mean Tecumseh. I mean to take a patch of his hide, God willing. And so does every man here. That there Shawnee better have a lot of skin. No, sir. If he's as big as all the talk, he should have enough hide to go around. Here he's almost a giant. Size don't count. Catch a bobcat by the privates. The harder you squeeze, the longer his claws get.
Contrary to his legend, gentlemen, he's not all that big. Although when he springs up before you with his tomahawk, he does seem rather Rather imposing. Take it from one who knows. But then, as the maxim goes, the greater the enemy, the greater the victory.
And Tecumseh is a magnanimous enemy, right? He's the greatest op of all time. I mean, him and Dragon Canoe neck and neck, man. They got the same ruach popping off. Now, this clip right here deals directly with the Battle of Thames. This is the killing of Tecumseh. And, 7 minutes for the dismount. Montague, Prester 127, Montague, Ontario, Canada. Let's go for the dismount.
What is it?
He has a sign.
No! 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 Forgive me. I wanted you to say he had no sign.
Stay with me when I fall. Strike me 4 times with the ramrod of your rifle. If you can do this, I will rise and we will defeat the Americans. If not, then it was meant to be. It begins!
So as we've researched, this battle will really look like so-called Indians versus so-called Indians, Ishmaelites, poor whites, Kentuckians, you know what I'm saying? Everything that we've read about the Battle of Thames leading up, so far. And it wouldn't just be some Native Americans versus white people. Nah, man. It was a whole confederacy of niggas coming out of Kentucky, trying to get the Ohio lands and Illinois and Indiana and all this Morocco malarkey, you know what I'm saying, happening right here in the promised land, turning America into glaciation lines and moraines. Mooring up the place, turning it into a damn ice age because of their witchcraft and sorcery, cube of harmonics, and the slaughter of our people. HaWah cursed the land because they were invading it. He didn't allow the invaders to come into paradise. It was the coldest time period in over 1,000 years right here in America during this time. So factor in the Ice Age and factor in the Nagas when you watch this scene, man. Let's go. Ishmaelites at? Where the Ishmaelites? No treaties, no deals. Sheik 'em out.
Soldier! Turn that Indian over. I want to see his face. No. No, that's not him. Find him. Intact. Not scalp or flayed. I want his body found.
His American enemies, to whom he had never yielded in life, could not capture my son in death. The great good spirit, which summoned Daw, demands something of us all. The Shawnee would go on. The Shawnee would have to go on with the panther in the sky sustaining their hopes, with the Tecumseh inside their hearts, until the day he returns to lead us again.
Wow. Until the day he returns to lead us again. With supplications will I lead them. They shall come with weeping. I will cause them to walk by rivers of waters in the straight way wherein they shall not stumble. For I am become as a father to Israel. It's the Creator talking. Ephraim is my firstborn. Until he returns. This whole concept of this returning, is literally coming out of the flow of the shepherd and the flock. And even with the Kumse, you have these parallels with the shepherd and the flock. And the Kumse is supposed to return. Whoa. And his brother is Tenskat HaWah, the prophet, who they call Prophetstown after. They call him prophet for a reason. The word came to Jeremiah from HaWah, saying, Thus speak HaWah, the power of Israel, not Ishmael, not Edom, not Moab, not Canaan, the power of Israel. Hasherah has its own power that the whole world adopts into the matrix of God. But their God ain't your God. It's like the Kumse said. You killed the son of your God. You got nothing to do with us. He's talking about Zeus in them, man. Zeus in them. For lo, the day comes when HaWah says HaWah that I will turn or return or turn back the captivity of my people Israel and Judah. That's the northern and southern tribes, two cross sticks coming back together, says HaWah, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. This is what the Kumse is fighting for. You can't sell this land. It's the land I gave to their fathers. You can't sell it. It's the Great Spirit. And these are the words that HaWah, the creator, Manaka, of the earth, the sky, the heaven, everything, spoke concerning Israel and concerning Judah. Specifically concerning this tribe, Manaka. For thus says HaWah, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. How could it? You've been invaded. Ask you now and see whether a man does travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail? All you niggas look like you're having a baby. You're trembling in fear. And all faces are turned into paleness, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. And it is a time of trouble unto Jacob, but out of it shall he be saved. Right? The Kumse will rise again. And it shall come to pass in that day, says HaWah, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck and will burst thy bands, and strangers shall no more make him their bondman, but they shall serve HaWah their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. Body bag. David being raised up again. Even Tecumseh coming back. They waiting on JC. You can't be waiting on the same power the hijack is waiting on. That's just hijack city. You can't have the same power as the hijack. You can't have the same power as these hijacks, man. Calling on the same guy, going to the same church. Because now we just want melting pot. You ain't supposed to be thinking about tribal. But even in their book of Revelations, 12 gates appear for the 12 tribes to go through first. Apparently the tribes matter. So while you're in church singing Kumbaya, all the tribes don't matter through the blood of JC, apparently the tribes still matter with that 144,000. God. They're not Gentiles. Therefore fear not, Jacob, my servant, says HaWah, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save you. Say what? The creators say, I will save you, not JC. I'm your savior, not that hijack. You don't have to go through the sun to get to me. You have to go through me so that you can see my firstborn, so that you can be one with the house of Dawi. I will save you from afar, and your seed from the land of their captivity. Was Tecumseh fighting for? And Jacob shall again be quiet and at ease. What's Dragon CANOE fighting for? Dragon Khan. And none shall make him afraid, for I am with you, Israel. Says HaWah, to save you. I don't need no hijacks to save you. I'm your maker. I'm your creator. I will save you, for I will make a full end of all the nations where I've scattered you. But I will not make a full end of you, for I will correct you in your measure. You're going to afflict your soul. You're going to come humble. You're going to come trembling. But I will not utterly destroy you. Halal HaWah. For thus says HaWah, thy hurt is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. So you come in weeping. You weeping, man, because you have a grievous wound, man. We feel the death of our ancestors. They died for what? Because somebody didn't want to unify? Because somebody didn't want to code up? We died for wickedness, for lack of understanding. None deemeth of your wound that it may be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines. All your lovers have forgotten you. All your gods can't help you. JC can't help you. They seek you not. For I have wounded you with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the greatness of your iniquity, because your sins were increased. Now you got atonement. Why cry you for your hurt? Why are you crying now? That your pain is incurable. For the greatness of your iniquity, because your sins were increased, I have done these things to you. I did it. I was your adversary because you were mine. Because you refused to keep the code. You refused to listen. You some badass kids. I had to punish you. I did it. Verse 16, Jeremiah 30, therefore all they that devour you shall be devoured. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee, this is what they are shook right now. Because, yeah, they got a little heaven for a little while. They built skyscrapers. They got dollars and paper. But yeah, all they that devour you shall be devoured. And all your adversaries, Satans, every one of them, all your whites shall go into captivity. And they that spoil you shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon you will I give for a prey. Kum Managas. To cum is to rise. To cum is to make a stand. To cum is to rise on up, man. To cum say was all about the rising. To rise up. To cum say. It's all in the name and it's all in the Hebrew. It's undeniable that this Takum, the Takum Sa, was rocking straight with the rawness and the purity and the uncutness and the unwaveringness of the warriors of HaWah. And when you quam, when you cum, you better be rising, my nigga. When you make your, when you afflict your soul, you better rise up after that, man. You better make a stand. The best stand you could ever make is to be courageous enough to keep the code, to put the guns down, to say, all right, you got it. You got the count. Yeah, you got it. But look at us, though. Look at the count. Look at the scoreboard of what the hijacks doing on our land. How about that count? How about we count all these acres up from all these treaties? How about we count that? You want to keep score in your block, in your neighborhood? You want to keep score? Why don't you keep score how many Nagas to this day we've lost because we've been out of code? Now we do the work for the hijack and kill ourselves. That is a dragon devouring its own tail. I said we do all the work for them and kill ourselves. That's the dragon devouring its own tail. The last question we could ever ask, love to the Condizzle, is how much longer shall this endure? If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? How long they gonna keep walking around their cube? How long shall this endure? Huh? How long they gonna keep migrating? How long are they gonna keep slaying Nagas on our own land? Slaying the Chickamauga, slaying the Cherokee, slaying Tecumseh. Tecum is to come is to rise. Come here, Kum. It's all in the Hebrew. How many more treaties must we endure? Morocco, Morocco, Morocco. Morocco. I swear, Morocco, man, you got some atoning to do. But I guess you took that treaty of Fort Wayne, right by the Fort Wayne moraine. Yeah, you took that Fort Wayne treaty to heart. You took that 30 million acres to heart, huh? 1809, Tecumseh said, no mas, boss. No, no, no. It's time to go to war. And it was that 20 million acres that set off Dragon Canoe. Before that, you know what I'm saying? So that's 50 million acres just in 2 treaties, man. Straight up like that. Researched the Treaty of Greenville for the dismount. Yeah. Also called the Treaty of Fort Greenville, 1795, settlement that concluded. Come on, come on. Hijack City. Don't be scared now. Hostilities between United States hijacks an Indian Confederation headed by Miami. Yeah, this is why that hijack general kept saying, "Oh, this is Miami land, not your land." This this Miami chief, he already gave up the land. He already gave up most of the future state of Ohio and significant portions of Indiana, Illinois, and Michigan, boss. So with the Treaty of Greenville, they got Ohio, Indiana, right? Michigan, Great Lakes, right? Chicago being, what it is. Mauritania, Moraines, and Morocco, right in your face bone as they migrate during an ice age. True to life, my nigga. True to life. And we didn't really scratch the surface. I still got so many more links, man. We'll get back in Prester John legend and his sources. Man, get more into these battles, man, like the Battle of Tippecanoe, even deeper, man. Just remember, all looks like us, and that's where we really start the weeping process. It all looks like us, you know what I mean, and it still looks like us killing ourselves. And I lead us for the dismount, chasing Path Killer, man, because Path Killer ain't no, he ain't no wingman, man. Path Killer's a real killer, man. Yeah, man. Principal chief of the Cherokees from 1811 to his death in 1827. So right around the death of Tecumseh, Path Killer, he was rocking. And Path Killer fascinated me after I learned he lived near the same lands I call home and was buried. Okay. Chief Path Killer. 1764 to 1828, referred to as the last of the Cherokee Kings. Oh, it don't say chief no more. It says kings. Now you're talking about a kingdom. Now you're talking about a kingdom. Path Killer's youth is the most difficult part of his life to tease out. William G. McLaughlin's Cherokee missionary, 1789-1839, says that Path Killer was born in 1749, 7 years later than the earliest date of the tombstones, fought in the Revolution on the British side, and between 1783 and 1794 was engaged in the Chickamauga Wars under Dragon Canoe. Suyu Khan Sini, known in English as Dragon Canoe. Dragon Canoe. The Tennessee Historical Society, Tennessee Encyclopedia as Dragon Canoe's engagements against European settlers falling in the 1770s and 80s before his death on March 1st, 1792. And if it's true that Path Killer was born in the 1740s, he would have been in his 30s and 40s during these skirmishes. That's a whole drop on Path Killer, man. So, we got to dig a lot deeper, man, on the Path Killer, man. In some sources, Path Killer was touted as a mere figurehead, while others had him playing a larger, more independent role. Uh, January 1827, Path Killer died, and the leadership fell to Hicks, who himself died only 2 weeks later. Man, because they was at war. Buried near Chatsworth at the site of the Spring Place Mission. Then John Ross, who served in the role until his death in 1866. So the Roos is still connected with the Chickamauga. Chief Path Killer, Cherokee Indian Chief Path Killer, was granted a 640-acre, I think, reservation, including the Blair Ferry and storehouse at this site in 1819. So they gave him a little chunk. They gave him 600 some acres. A court battle for rights to the ferry continued into 1850 after eviction from his reserve. Path Killer moved to Hamilton country, I guess, something like that, or Colorado. I don't know. Died in Arkansas, 1843. 1817, the treaty ceded certain Cherokee lands to the United States. Was negotiated, signed by Major General Andrew Jackson. This is who the Choctaw sided with when they fought against Tecumseh. Tennessee Governor Joseph McMahon and David Meriwether collectively serving as commissioners plenipotentiary of the United States, and a number of Cherokee chiefs and other representatives. Treacherous traitor-ass niggas, including Charles R. Hicks. 2 years later, however, that treaty was renegotiated by Secretary of War John C. Calhoun as the Treaty of Washington, 1819, often called the Calhoun Treaty in the history books. In Article 2 of the 1819 treaty, language was included that allowed the head of any Indian family residing within the previously ceded territory to claim 640 acres of land. Whoa, okay. It might be something here. Might be nothing. I don't know. On condition of becoming a citizen. Oh, man. So you had to give up your natural by lawness to become a citizen on the ship, a slave on their slave ship. And by doing that, they'll give you 640 acres of your own land back. Ain't that something? Damn. Whew. We just talking about Path Killer, man. You got the links, pull them up. And we'll be back on, our Dragon Canoe, Cherokee Heritage, Merriam County, formed from Indian lands. Lands of this area were a part of the Cherokee Nation. The original claims of their land ranged from the Great Smoky Mountains into portions of several present-day states. Western North Carolina, Caracata, Virginia, the southern portion of West Virginia, northern parts of Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Kentucky. The Cherokee called themselves Ane-Uwia, meaning the real people, my naga. The real Nagas, man. And it is said that they are descendants of the northern Iroquois tribe. The word Cherokee is not found in the Cherokee language. It seems the English started using this name around 1708. Interesting. The original southern, or it says Cherokee territorial claims were indefinite and included no fixed boundary lines because they had all the land. These being mainly natural mountain barriers, they were the original southern mountaineer and custodians of this area of wilderness. There were 3 geographical divisions of Cherokee nations in Tennessee, Overhill Country, Middle Settlement, and the lower towns. The tribal council was made up of delegated leaders or chiefs chosen from the 7 clans, tribes. Our nation's democracy was patterned from their tribal organization of each town being a self-governing body. Membership to a Cherokee clan was indicated by distinctive headdress, as was their rank and position in each clan. Halal HaWah. All praise to WAH. I'm grateful that we've been able to keep this fire burning, my night. Been able to keep this fire burning for a mighty long time. Sometimes you gotta adjust some logs around this place. Sometimes you gotta let the embers burn. Sometimes you gotta let the hybrid hijacks, be hybrid hijacks, man. Yeah. All to get back to the fireplace. Keep the fire burning and to keep the water flowing. And I pray that you are flourishing, cons, that you will flourish through even your darkest times, that you will have the dragon, that you will have the light, that you will see clear, that you will figure it out, your next moves, your next step, that you won't be stagnant water, that you move in water, that you have understanding, overstanding, and understanding as you navigate through the water of the breath and security of Hawaii. This has been the 127th installment of the Prester John investigation, zeroing in, man, on the indigenous truth right here at home, bringing it home to the code. And I truly believe and I truly know, man, that with the frequency, the vibration, the unity that the Kumse, that Dragon Canoe is talking about, that unity has to come with the code. It's not going to come with Nagas deciding to do the right thing. Not killing each other is part of our code. That should have been automatic. Protecting our family should have been automatic. But we can't point the finger because we're here now, and what are we going to do about it? I say we start with keeping the code, because without that, you're going to have the same history repeating itself. But the code of the dragons, those that see clearly, those that see, my naga, it's forever, man. And we are already united, man. So happy Naga week, happy Naga day. Enjoy your humility, your humbleness as you are humble within your soul, within your ruach, and that you feel this, that you feel the weeping within yourself, man, that you feel the hurt, the pain, the excruciating pain Tecumseh and Dragon Canoe and the Chickamauga are feeling of fighting their own brothers and their own sisters. And seeing the bodies drop, bodies on bodies and Calais loose. Akis on Akis, the Amaru. We talking Sylvanus to Texas. Genealogy never connects this. Halal HaWah. Shabbat. Keep breathing. The breath is life. The breath is existence. And with every breath, you got that fire. And you got that water. The water monogamous for surfing the wave 9 ether above the barrier. Stay up. Suit up. Choose up. Drop nation. HaWah.